passion seems to do the trick. Nothing wrong, won't be here for long. Why believe in hope when God's away?
Joined in the studio today, Lawi Anywar and team. Do we have a fancy name for the team, or is it just the crew?
No. What I used to call you guys the Handsome Band on social media, but no, we don't have a name. Just Lawi Anywar at the moment.
The Lawi Anywar band.
The Lawi Anywar band, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, in that case, can we go around and introduce all of the band? Introduce yourself and everyone else.
My name is Lawi Tim. Everyone calls me Lawi though, and I play bass in my band. You go next.
I'm Esther, and I play baritone guitar.
I am Jordan, and I play guitar.
My name is Oli, and I play the drums.
And how long have you guys all been playing together?
Oh, we said this the other day. I think it was
It's like
3 years.
Yeah, 3 years.
Three and a
since,
bit years, yeah.
I think longer than that, because we did our first live session 3 years ago.
Yeah.
I think we gigged before that potentially.
Yeah, 3 and a bit years.
So 3.5 years.
I'll take that, because I think the first time I saw you was live. First time I came across you was live at ATG at the Elephant Room stage, which I assume you had this whole same band.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We did. Yeah, that was a good gig.
That was a good gig.
That was
That was a good gig. Yeah.
It was a good enough gig for me to message you on Instagram.
Yeah. The rest is history.
Hey, so thanks for being in the studio with us today. Love
Thanks
this.
for having us.
Great.
Thank you.
You just played a track off of the new album.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell me about this new track?
Doomed Black Sidekick. Yeah, I mean a lot of the album is to do with dealing with death, I guess, the mortality, just to like get straight into it. And I think that particular track, I was thinking a lot about police brutality and the outside perception of, you know, how you're racialized as a black and or brown person, and some of the fears that come with that. And yeah, just trying to like rise above that, not making that your whole thing, even though it's like pervasive and it's hard and scary. But yeah, that's what that track's about, I think.
Light, really light track,
Yeah,
light
fucking,
messaging.
Yeah. So
Tell
light.
me about this new album that you've just had come out last Friday, Centenarian.
Centenarian, yeah. Yeah, it was, the title comes from conversations that I had with my estranged father about wanting to live to 100. I was on the phone with him and he was sounding quite haggard, I'm not gonna lie. Sorry, Dad, but but he was kind of, I was like, you know, how's your health? How's your body? I feel like we don't ask each other that question enough. And he was like, oh, I'm great. I'm gonna live to 100, man. And he said it with such like confidence. And then Elliot actually turned me on to that Blue Zones documentary on Netflix, and there was this constant kind of like stream of centenarian content and thoughts coming my way, and I was just like, what would that be like? How do you do that? And then I was like, I'm actually not up for dying yet. And then it just became a spiral, and yeah, here we are. I made an album about it.
Are we all trying to live to 100 then? Whole team. How do we feel about that?
I will if these guys will.
Yeah. Solidarity in our 100-year-oldness. I'll shout out my great auntie as well, who passed away last year, who lived to 104, and like a lot of the kind of her reflections, like she was razor sharp until the very end, and like I just wonder what that would be like, and she was really inspiring in the creation of this as well.
I said
Second track, The Wall.
Yes.
Wall.
Wall.
Wait, I can't do it in an accent.
Wow.
Wall. You play all of the instruments and stuff in the recordings on the album. So then to the rest of the band, how's it feel to pick up someone else's stuff and add your own like sauce to it?
It feels pretty good. I think Lawi allows us to inject some of our own like personality and character into his music, which is like a really special thing. Because I think a lot of people who record all the instruments and write their own music and have like a live band are quite particular to how it sounds, and he's kind of allows us to make it our own, and it feels like our band and it feels like our music, which is a really nice thing.
Do they get to input as part of the writing process as well, or is it just you locked in a room doing all the things?
Well, actually, like some of the choices that the guys have made in like the live process, like I think of the live thing as a separate thing from the recorded output, and some of the choices that they've made have like ended up on the album that I've just released. Jordan's on Cave Child 4, which is the second track, and Esther's on Lord Vessel, which is the last track. You're next. We're going to find a way to get you in. But yeah, like the way that these guys play like is informing how I put things down in the studio all the time now, because it's always like, this is the fun bit, you know, all of that stuff is the work. So it's like, how do we synergize that as best as possible to like make a fun live experience for us and the people who come and see it. So
tell me about the wall. You've got this almost like a mantra in the middle of it, building the wall. What is that? What is building the wall? What wall?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of. I think I consider myself like generally quite a fearful person, but I'm not outwardly expressive with that. Like a lot of us, I think we're all kind of playing it cool a lot of the time. And I think War was like an acknowledgement of being aware that there's like a natural order to the way that life is, and there's like things that you're supposed to aspire to as a human being, such as having children, for example, or like that kind of stuff. But then you're so afraid of that you put up this barrier, and you're like, no, I'm going to stay over here in my comfort zone. And I think I was feeling that day, so that became the thing. Yeah.
So it goes, all the people we forget. Life flows, so just get what you can get. A sideshow makes a freak of me.
the last track. What was it called?
It's called I See You. I guess it's probably maybe it's the happiest track. Like, it's about being happy with being perceived, you know? It's like being able to say to someone like, I see you and I'm happy that you see me as well. And like all the things that freak me out are now less scary, you know? So.
You say it's the happiest track, but it is very aggressive ending, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you got to be aggressive with your love. Sorry, I just offended myself. No, so I think sometimes aggression and not necessarily violence, but like being upfront and what's the word? Adversarial is sometimes a really good like tonal vehicle for like catharsis and being letting out joy or like anger and rage. It's like we all have this crazy spectrum of emotions, and there's also a spectrum of like how to express that healthily. I think if you have like a balance of expression, then you can say some pretty wild shit.
I mean, let's keep on that thread and talk about the spectrum of the styles that you cover, because if someone's listening to this, and they just hear these 3 tracks, it's probably it's a small view of what the whole album is, because you've got these heavier tracks, but then some very light tracks, that acoustic track that is just something else entirely.
Yeah.
Lots of poppy, ethereal, sprinkling, I don't know, of guitar vibes. Mm-hmm. It wanders a lot, but while still feeling very cohesive.
Cool, thank you.
I don't know. Tell me about the breadth of sound in the album.
I don't know. I listen to a lot of different stuff, I guess, and it's inevitable that when you know, we're all kind of mirrors to our environment, like be that when you grow up and when you like assimilate new information and whatever. I don't think too hard about like when I'm making it, like what it sounds like. It's a bunch of things that I've taken in that come through my particular filter. Be that I mention Grace Jones a lot, and I mention REM a lot, and TV on the radio have all been really big for me. But also like Deftones I listen to a lot, and a lot of like African guitar music was like really formative for me as well. And like, I think we spoke about it before, but a big light bulb moment for me was like getting the same kind of like feeling listening to the way that they play guitar in REM as I do when they play kind of soukous music in like Senegal and the Congo and all that kind of stuff. So I feel like I'm always trying to bring those two things together and trying to make that as cohesive as possible in a way that it's like, I can't remember who said it, but it's like you try and make the thing that you want to hear.
2 questions for everyone. What part of Centenary and the new album do you think the younger version of you would need to hear the most?
That's meaty. I think Cave Child 4 is maybe the most direct and is literally about the younger me feeling isolated and not knowing how to connect with others because you're a child and overwhelmed by whatever. And I think if I had like a mentor or someone when I was that age who could say like, it's gonna be all right, you just like find what you're interested in and just like enjoy that shit, then that would have been pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyone else?
Centenarian, I think it's the first track off the album. I think I've always liked layers, whether it's vocal harmonies or whether it's the bass coming in a bit later, or just layers and layers and layers ending up in this kind of just beautiful, horrific mess. Centenarian doesn't. We do that kind of stuff live, which I absolutely love about this band, that we're allowed to do that is wicked. Without any discussion as well, we just do it. And it's like, cool, that was great. We don't kind of look at things and discuss it too much, which is, I think, quite a beautiful thing. Makes it really natural, I guess. But yes, the layers that happen in Centenarian, starting from the kind of the pad sample and going in to the drums and with the bass, and then things are going on. It's It's just something that I would be inspired by when I was younger. So I'm answering your question. Did it?
Love it. And what else?
I would maybe say the element of Doomed Black Sidekick, where very little changes with the drums throughout the whole song. It's like a driving rhythm that just carries through the entire thing. And I think I've always had a tendency to kind of like skip between different things. So it's really nice to hold down just something really like groovy and driving.
Is that quite like a new thing for you that you like? Because it's this new thing that I like that I've never, because I'm a math rock boy, aren't I? So like the idea of staying on the same thing for like 3 minutes has been
It's bold,
insane.
isn't it? It's a really brave thing to do.
I love it now.
To just commit to something and see it out.
It makes me feel a lot better because I did write about that, the driving drums in that track.
Yeah.
And so then when you talk about it, I'm like, good, did it.
Yeah.
But it's that one, it like stands out for
that particular
part of it.
element, I
Yeah.
think that's probably the one that stands out for me most.
That's the thing that happens in so many of Lawi's songs, though.
Yeah.
From experience, and my right arm is like absolutely crippled at the end of it, at the end of a gig.
Yeah.
I think for me it would probably be I See You. I listened to majority of the music I listened to when I was young was very heavy, and the big kind of heavy breakdown I think I would connect with that a lot more as a child or as a young boy. Then as I got older and started listening to kind of more, my taste started to broaden. But I think that I would hear that as a kid and go, fuck yeah.
Same. Same. I mean, I feel the same. And it was a pleasant surprise to hear it go that dark for a minute in the whole album. Not that you don't have other elements of it throughout the album, but I liked it. It's cool. Last question. What are you all listening to?
Ooh.
You can't look at your phones.
Youth Lagoon. Quite a lot. Is he a friend?
Really?
From Idaho.
No way.
Yeah.
Damn.
Tell him I said fucking sick new album, man.
Fucking. Oh
Crazy.
my God.
Yeah.
Talk about it later.
Yeah, amazing. Listening to that a lot. Deftones' new album, listening to that loads. And Essex Honey by Blood Orange a lot at the moment. Yeah, it's just like he was recently bereaved, and it's one of those kind of really like meditative, vulnerable, processing feelings kind of albums, and I always reach for that. And it's not even in the directness of the lyrics a lot of the time. Sometimes it's just a vibe, and it's like my favorite of his like vibe albums. So yeah.
I'm listening to a lot of tracks from Hayley Williams' latest release. I know,
Continue.
just stop. So good. And a woman called Aura Kogan, who's very kind of like dark folk with a bit of country tinge. But I went to see her play recently, and that was super nice, super inspiring. And then I always return to Emma Ruth Rundle because she's one of my favorites. Beautiful guitar player, very haunting, very beautiful. Yeah.
I've also been listening to a lot of Deftones, new album coming out, having come out. I've been listening to a lot of a girl called Dominique Hooper, who
We love you, Dominic.
Lawi went to primary school with, and we saw at Shambhala a couple of weeks ago, and it's like breathtaking performance. She's absolutely incredible.
Just got a new album coming out in October, I think.
Oi, oi.
I can't think of anything else, but I've been listening to lots of stuff, but I can't think.
It's great. Love it. And drums. Ollie.
I've got you, man. My favourite band at the moment is called Ugly. They seem like a bunch of people who met in the choir when they were children, and they just play like prog rock with kind of weird, just tinges of lots of other things. They're clearly listening to a lot of different music, 4-part harmonies, bass, tenor, vibrato. It's amazing stuff. They've got a 6-track album, which I have bought on Bandcamp, because you should buy music that you'd like. It's weird not to do that. And Geese, always Geese. There's a new, they're from America, And I don't know whereabouts in America they're from, but they are quite young, very exciting. It's almost kind of alternative, proggy country stuff. I recommend listening to Geese. They're going to do some big things.
Sick. Speaking of buying music, where can everyone buy music?
Buy it on Bandcamp. It is the most direct and personable way to support your favorite artists. Pretty much everyone you listen to has a Bandcamp. What was that, bro?
Sorry, 60p a tune.
60p a tune. It's ridiculous. A lot of artists these days also have their stuff up for pay what you can. I believe it was King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard just recently took all their music off Spotify, and you can now pay what you want for all of their music. So get on that, Bandcamp. Otherwise, if you want to stream, that's okay. I do appreciate it, but do Tidal or like Qobuz or something. That's it.
Get it.
Oh,
and
YouTube as well.
what do you have going on rest of the year?
Rest of the year, we're gonna do a show on the 21st of November at Strange Brew in Bristol, and maybe with Domini at some point, and next year with Domini as well. But yeah, we're probably just gonna hang out and get to know each other better.
3 years wasn't enough.
There's hidden depths every day.
Nice. Okay, well, thank you so much for being here.
No,
This
thanks
was
for having
amazing.
us.
Thank you for having
you.
us.